Yes, yeah, we were talking about the data. So we all work with the gigabytes of data, terabytes of data, right? So now the time has come to work on petabytes of data, exabyte of data. The one side data is growing exponentially. Other side data variety and complexity also getting increased. And we worked with ERP related data, CRM related data, web related data. Now the time has come to work on a big data. But how big data is getting generated? What is this big data? Remember, big data is not technology, it is a data. But outside, you see many people talk about big data technology. Right? Big data is not technology; it is a data which is generated from these sources. From these sources, we'll see more about that. So we all work in a client server environment. There we have a server. We have multiple clients. But major disadvantage of client server is it is a single storage and computation process, multiple requests at a time. So this server will be having a certain capacity to perform your computations to store your data, right? So beyond which you cannot go with same server, you have to increase the capacity or replace with a new server, which is going to be a highly difficult task. So with the amount of data which is getting increased nowadays, this server, whatever we have been using, cannot be used for computations and storage. That's where the people thought about a new solution. They should be able to expand the storage capacity, the computation capacity as per the needs, right? For which we have cluster. What is a cluster? Cluster is a distributed environment. What is a distributed environment? Data distributed to multiple machines. Computations are also distributed to multiple machines and do computations parallelly. If you observe, there are multiple computers connected each other and data is getting distributed to all the computers. Not only data, even computations are also distributed to multiple computers. Not only computations, but doing parallel computations. All these computers will work on computation parallelly. So data distribution, computation distribution, parallel computation. That is called a cluster. All these things put together is called a cluster. This entire cluster can be created on premise or on cloud. The cloud means like Amazon AWS cloud, Azure cloud, Google cloud. There are many cloud platforms. You can use any of the clouds, or you can create cluster on premise. Okay. So what is the advantage of this cluster when compared to client server? Here today you are running with 100 terabyte. Tomorrow you want to make it 100 more terabytes. You add 10 more machines here. Your data capacity increased, storage capacity increased, as well as computation capacity also increased. Am I clear? But again, the data got reduced. You can remove few machines. The storage capacity got decreased, computation capacity also got decreased. Either you are on the cloud or on premise, doesn't matter. So cluster has a flexibility to increase and decrease your storage and computation capacity. So that is the advantage of cluster. That is the reason most of the people are moving from client server to cluster and cloud environment. Right? So we see here products, people, companies, services. All these products, people, companies, services are connected to digital world. Right? We know that. Whenever you have a company, you want to do globally or you want to present globally, or whenever you develop product, you want to sell that product globally, or whenever you develop any service, you want to provide that service globally. So we have many global services nowadays, right? So this is called IoT. Every object, whatever you see physically, tomorrow will be connected to digital world. That's where we call it as IoT, Internet of Things. For what we need to connect to digital? To understand that object, to understand people, to understand companies, to understand better services. How do you understand? To extract data. By extracting data, by understanding data. The finally, we are connecting all these things to digital world to extract data and understand from that data. Okay. So in a minute, there are many things are happening. 600 plus new videos are getting uploaded. 70 plus domains are getting registered. 168 million emails are being sent in a minute. Think about hour, think about day, think about week, month, year. How many emails, how many some emails talk about products design, some emails talk about people, some emails talk about new ideas, correct? Some emails talk about project architecture, some emails talk about issues, concerns, right? So if you are able to capture these emails, store these emails permanently, and if you are able to analyze, you will discover many solutions to many data problems, right? So all these applications, whatever you see here, are generating huge amount of data. That data we call it as a big data. So big data is a collection of data sets which are so large, beyond single machine capacity, and complex in nature, unstructured, semi-structured, multi-structured. It is very difficult to process such a huge amount of data by using traditional databases and languages. What are the traditional databases languages? We discussed mainframe, Java, .NET, C++, right? These are all the traditional technologies. So all these traditional technologies cannot be used to understand the big data, to store big data, to compute big data. That is where I was talking about these technologies cannot be used for present data. So, but what is required here? There are a new set of technologies which we have to perform against this data. But what are the challenges you are going to do on big data? Before we move on to the technologies, these are the major three challenges. One is the storage of big data. Another one is analysis of big data. Another one, visualization. Third one is visualization. Storage, analytics, then visualization. These are the three major challenges of big data. Either you work in storage or analysis or visualization. Either you are a big data architect or a data scientist or data architect, doesn't matter. First one is storage. You see different variety of data: unstructured, semi-structured, multi-structured, real-time data, geographical data, time series data. And unstructured data is getting generated through emails, GPS, blogs, mobile data, PDF files, weblogs, forums, website content. These are all different sources of generating unstructured data. Across the globe, there is 80% unstructured data, 20% structured data. So far, we all work with the structured data, correct? RDBMS data, Excels, rows and columns. You can understand the data. Most of us, 80% of the times, we work on data. So now it is 20%, 80% is unstructured. If 20% created these many job opportunities for all of us, and if 20% data is worked by many companies, think about 80%. How many people, how many job opportunities are going to be created by 80% unstructured data? Now we are all going to work on 80% as well as 20% structured data. This is where we were talking about 20 million job opportunities are going to be created in coming years in artificial intelligence. So coming to the data storage, where are we going to store data? That is, there is something called big data lake. What is a lake? Lake is similar to data warehouse, where you store all variety of data, different types of data. You will see different types of data like images, audio, text data, numerical data, blogs, chart scripts, tweets, right? So sensor related data, POS related data. Yeah, you can switch on. POS related data, right? So these are all a different variety of data. But where are we going to store this variety of data? That is where we call it as lake, data lake. So this is the most popular storage area. Every company wants to build data lake with the different types of data. Once we build data lake, you can start pumping data and storing in that data lake. Once you store data, then you can start pulling data for analysis. You do insights, you apply machine learning algorithms, you do artificial intelligence objects. Okay. So this data lake can be built on premise or on cloud, AWS cloud, Azure cloud, Google cloud, or Databricks cloud, any of these cloud platforms, right? So once you build data lake, that means you are created storage for your variety of data. If we take one product, that one product will generate text data, will generate blocks related data, will generate feeds related data, right? Will generate transactional data. So different variety of product. This was not there before because we did not connect product to digital world. Now we connected products to digital world. Best example, Amazon, Flipkart. The products are being sold in sites, right? That's where you are going to click on a product, view product, spend some time, read comments, compare with other product, right? Then do comments. So these are all not variety of data. Yes, this is a variety of data. So to understand that product, we should store this variety of data. That's where we talk about data lake. This is where we have a huge number of job opportunities building a data lake.
But the data is already stored to the respective product or within
That
the
is
product.
transactional data. Only transactional data. You buy and sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's say Amazon, let's say it has launched a new code or something.
Correct.
So that data is already there before I do the transaction.
Yeah. What data is there? Basic data.
About that basic data.
Basic data, not users data, right?
Not user data.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you want to understand a product. For example, there are 1 lakh visitors are viewing your product. Only 10,000 people are buying.
Right.
Why 90,000 people are not buying? You want to analyze it. How are you going to analyze? That is based on customer experiences.
Right.
So you need to gather customer experience.
So that is, won't that already be there on the Amazon?
How? It's a new product. It's not there, right? You need to understand about your product. Your product location is different. Your product manufacturer is different. Your product service is different. Your product configuration is different.
So I need to set up something like a data lake to capture all those transactions.
Correct.
Data.
Pull that data, all variety of data, not only transactional data. You pull comments, you pull ratings, you pull comparisons,
Okay.
you pull different customer experiences. Then start analyzing why people are not buying my product.
Where do we pull this data from? It must be there somewhere.
From user, right? Either through mobiles, either through website contents, or excuse me, or through sensors,
Okay.
right?
So that's going to be most of the time unstructured data.
Yes, unstructured data, structured data. Before we used to have only structured, like transactional. Now we have unstructured data also. That is 80% unstructured data to understand your product. Clear?
So just one thing to add.
Yeah, please.
So even in Amazon, so whether you if you are looking through a product, it also gives the product recommendation. So similar users viewed similar products and it also gives a comparison.
Yeah, I'm going
And when
to.
you, based on your browsing history, when you log in Exchange, it gives recommendations as per your earlier transactions and purchases and different varieties. It gives. So these are all actually behind scenes. Unknowingly, though we just went through, depending on the taste and
Yes,
the
patternizing the.
pattern, on that it does this analytics and gives. So if you're leaving that product, it can show you these similar products. After comparison, how many people actually view that particular product, competitive products, and where there is more success, why people are not. So depending on their taste and interest, it customizes and it gives that personalized view.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are going to discuss further on it. The good point. Yeah. The second challenge is analytics, analysis. Okay. So analytics output always intelligence, which is actionable. Actionable intelligence. That is where we talk about AI, artificial intelligence. Right. So we are going to do analysis on big data. The big data means data variety, volume. We are going to see that. Visualization. Once you analyze, you need to visualize it. Dashboards. Right. Every data cannot be called as a big data. But what data we can call it as a big data? Data is generated with high volume, high velocity, and different variety with uncertainty. That data we call as a big data. In layman terms, up to terabytes normal data, more than terabytes like petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte, petabyte, brantobyte, geobyte. These are the measurements for big data. Nothing but a big data. 1 zettabyte is nothing but 1 CD to every person in the world. Already 40 zettabyte of data is generated. Now, right now we have 40 zettabyte of data, huge amount of data. By 2025, 185 zettabyte of data will be generated. That is where every company is behind a data. They want to capture each and every damn thing and store in lake and start analyzing, provide a visualization to users. That's where you see startup company to multinational company into data science and big data analytics, AI, artificial intelligence. Data science analytics are part of artificial intelligence, right? So this is predicted by IBM, Gartner, McKinsey and Company. So 2020 is not so far. We are going to connect it to 6 to 7 devices to every individual across the globe, which is going to generate huge amount of data. So now we have a fair idea about what kind of data we are going to get and what were the existing technologies and why those technologies are not going to be useful right now. But what are the new technologies which we have to learn to become a data scientist, to become analytics expert, or to become a big data architect, or to become a artificial intelligence expert? If you ask, these are the technologies. The first technology which is required, this is mandatory, just like our C language. Every computer programmer, people used to say like a DOS operating system, Windows operating system, and C language. So this has become a mandatory for every data scientist. Why it has become a mandatory? You see this. Hadoop contains a storage, that is HDFS, HBase, Hive, Cassandra. We see different databases. These are all the different databases, but these different databases to store different variety of data. We have already discussed variety of data: images, audio files, blogs, chart scripts, sensor related data, transaction related data, unstructured, semi-structured, multi-structured. So these databases are there to handle all variety of data. So Hadoop, these are all the Hadoop components. All these are there part of Hadoop. So Hadoop is one kind of framework which contains all these storage components. Not only storage components, it has a computation components also, like MapReduce, Pig, Hive, QLS, Scoop. These are the computation engines. So Hadoop can be used as a storage as well as computation. But coming to the computation part, so Databricks company introduced the Spark framework. It is a very, very powerful computation engine. Have you heard of Spark? At least some notice boards are anywhere. Nothing. Okay. Spark is a very, very powerful framework, high computation engine. It is 100 times faster than Hadoop technology. Hadoop itself 100 times faster than any other technology, but Spark is much, much faster than Hadoop technology. The Spark has a multiple modules: Spark SQL, Spark Streaming, Spark ML Machine Learning, Spark Graphics, Spark Core Engine. But what for these engines? The Spark SQL is to pull data from static data sources. What are the static data sources? You say, I have my product data in MySQL, or DBMS like DB2, say Oracle, or any other SQL server. So you can use Spark SQL to pull data. Or you say, I have data in file system, Windows file system, any Ubuntu operating system file system, any Mac file system, or any text files, any CSV files, Excel files, PDFs, Word documents, notepads, then you can use Spark SQL. These are all static, never be changed. But dynamic data is also there. What is the dynamic data? Your WhatsApp data, mobile data is dynamic data. Your website data is dynamic data. Like tweets, Twitter is dynamic data. Facebook is dynamic data. LinkedIn is dynamic data. Any job portals, dynamic data. There are many portals, like any food sites, dynamic data. So how do you extract that dynamic data? Spark streaming. Static streaming, dynamic streaming. Machine learning is, this is where we talk about machine learning algorithms, right? Then graphical related data. Graphics means like Uber related, like a source, destination, or Facebook related data. You, your friends, there is a network related data. So that kind of data is processed and managed by graphics. The coming to the data science part, you'll be having machine learning algorithms and statistics. This is our complete curriculum. Without this curriculum, you cannot claim yourself as a data scientist or big data architect. You will not get an opportunity anywhere if you don't have this skill set. So coming to the language, we are covering Scala Python combination with the Spark Scala and Spark Python combination. So this is the complete skill set. If you go through any job description in Naukri, Monster, or Indeed, or Dice, any international sites or India sites, job sites, You have to have the skill set. You will see all the skill set placed in the job description. But don't worry, don't scare about the new or more skill sets. These are a very simple and easy skill set. The only thing is your time is required to spend on it. The Scala, Python are three languages are same. If you learn one language, that is 90% of learning other languages. So coming to the machine learning, we'll be covering a 20 machine learning algorithms, then a statistics, in-depth statistics, right? But what is unique in my classes here when compared to other training centers is this one. So we cover Spark Scala in depth, Spark Python, PySpark. It is a unique. Nobody is teaching this PySpark across India because I am working in a PySpark. So this is where we are going to implement all the methodologies, machine learning algorithms, and integrations to different databases. But these two are equally growing, but this is the fastest growing. Spark with Python, the highly skilled here highly paid job. PySpark is highly paid job. Very few people are available right now in the market. Okay. Another thing is we implement machine learning with Spark, machine learning with Python, machine learning with R, all these three modules. But outside you see only with Python or only with R. So data science means outside you will see you will learn only Python. That's all, one module. We are also having multiple workshops on analytics life cycle and real-time data sets. So what is guaranteeing in our classes? Transformation to data science and big data analytics. Doesn't matter which background you are coming from. You may be coming from technical background, non-technical background. So you will be definitely get transformed to data science and big data analytics because every session is hands-on session. 80% hands-on, 20% theory classes will be there. Okay. Everything, whatever I show you here, I'll be doing in my laptop, you will be doing in your laptop. So then and there you will understand practically. That is the reason you go with a very, very less doubts. So you will clarify all your doubts within the class in your laptop itself. That's how you get transformed very fast. You'll understand subject very fast. But outside you see only PPT presentation like today what I am presenting, you are only sitting and listening because this is only theory.
You said that we will do it on our laptop.
Yes.
So, and this,
All the technologies are open sources.
they are open source.
You can download then and there and start doing. That is another advantage. You don't need to have any license, including your operating system. Just come with the empty laptop. That's all. Everything you can load.
When you say operating system,
Ubuntu, Unix operating system, open source.
oh, okay.
Ubuntu operating system. It is similar to Windows.
Yeah.
Okay. Transformation to data science and big data analytics. And every week, minimum 3 to 4 interview calls. Once we prepare your resume, so I will be giving you projects, role, responsibilities, interview questions and answers. And make sure you get interview calls. Okay. These are the unique things when compared to other places. These are the code looks like. Scala, Python, Java 8. Forget about Java 8. We're not going to teach Scala and Python. This is the Spark framework, Spark shell, where we have a command prompt. This is where you are going to write commands. This is R Studio, where you write R commands. Okay. 80% of our time we spent on data engineering. 20% on artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. Okay. Data engineering means identifying data sources, extracting data from different sources, and storing data in data lake, then pulling data for pre-processing activities and apply machine learning algorithms to make your product artificial intelligence. In future, every object is going to be artificial intelligence object. So data engineering part is like data mining, data transformation, data wrangling, data mining. So there are some real-time applications which are customer segmentation, customer churn prediction, sales forecasting, okay, then default loan prediction, right? Customer repeat behavior analysis, how frequently customer is going to repeat buyer, these kind of things. Recommendation engines. This is where Vijay was talking about recommendations of products. in Amazon, Flipkart. So based on your search history, what kind of product you are searching for, what kind of product, with what kind of product you are comparing, right? And then what is the price you are looking for, what are the features you are looking for. Based on that, yeah, based on that, products, objects will be recommended, right? So what is the use of recommending? You are making your users knowledgeable. Once they are knowledgeable, they can easily buy your products. Here, it is a deep learning, identifying object. Google, best example is Google Lens. Take Google Lens and put it on an object. It will tell you the object name, what that object is. That is called a deep learning. So anybody can become a data scientist who can write a simple code, these technologies, who is having a basic mathematics and statistics. So here in the statistics and mathematics, we don't need to derive any theorems. So already built-in statistics and mathematics are already there. We just need to implement them with Python and Spark. Okay. But outside, you see many people talking about statistics and mathematics. They teach intermediate statistics, mathematics, and all. It's not at all required. Everything is already built. So, what are the different roles we are going to get? Big data. You can go as a big data developer, a data engineer, a junior data scientist, data scientist, lead data scientist, big data architect, data engineer, chief data officer. These are all responsibilities: identifying data sources, extracting data, cleaning data, transforming data, preparation of data models. These are all different responsibilities what we are going to have at higher level. Our work is mainly installations, configurations, less coding, more data analysis, more functional, click, drag and drop. Okay. So this is the data analytics park getting constructed here, just 2 kilometers from our place, opposite to Inorbit Mall Road. T-Hub second phase. It is completely for data analytics companies. It is going to create directly, indirectly 3 lakh job opportunities. Next year it is going to open. It's going to create a huge number of job opportunities for analytics, artificial intelligence. There are many companies already placed there, almost getting over this building. Top 20 industries are hiring data expertise. So what you are going to get from here, so this course duration is going to be 4.5 months. There are weekend batches, weekday batches. Weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We are going to start on 14th, 9:30 to 12:30. So 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday, with a couple of breaks. Normal days Monday to Friday, 1 hour 10 minutes, 1 hour session will be there, which we are starting from Wednesday onwards. So what you get here from interview questions and answers, case studies, resume preparation, understanding your existing profile, complete mentorship will be given till you get break into analytics, complete transformation to analytics platform from any background. 80% hands-on, 20% here, right? So we have online classroom, weekdays, weekend classes. The same class we can attend classroom, same class we can attend online, live online class. Same class is recorded, uploaded to Drive. You will never be missing my class. So in online, you can do everything except to shake hands. So you can practice online. I can connect your machine. You can connect to my machine. You can see me. I can see you. Right. This is a little introduction about data science and the big data analytics. Any questions? No questions. So if no questions, I'll stop here.
You share this PPT?
Everything, every material we are going to share. Okay, let me show you the material what we are going to give you.
No, not, I mean, now to this attendee.
You can. No, you will get it. Let me tell you this also. So we are going to give you PPTs, material, hands-on, then stories. Stories means case studies, problem statements, interview questions and answers, class recordings. There are many prescribed very good books. So we are going to provide those books. So those are unique books. Unless you spend a lot of time, you cannot identify, discover these books. Very important books. And sample resumes. Okay, resume marketing. Then finally AI project. Okay, this is what we are going to provide for every module.
What do you mean by resume marketing? What do you do in that?
Yeah, so we help you in preparing resume and keep forwarding to companies. Make sure you get interview calls. You can market in LinkedIn, Naukri, Monster, and different websites, and our referrals. Okay, our previous students' referrals. So that's that kind of marketing. Okay. All right. So this is the material which we are going to provide you. So that's all for today.